Hi guys, it's Alexis Diorio again, and I'm also known as the Ghoul Girl, and I'm really excited to do this video. I've actually shot this video a couple times, but I really wasn't happy with how it turned out. So I finally decided to redo it, and here we go. So, this video is all about how to care for your deck and how to purchase your first deck. So the deck I have right now is, well, the most used deck. You'll probably, if you follow my social media and stuff, you'll see this deck all the time. And it is the Rider-Waite deck. And if you're in a tarot, you know, typically this is a very popular deck. It's very popular to purchase as your first deck. So here it is. So first I'm going to start with how to purchase your first deck. And there are many opinions on this, and the traditional way to buy a deck is not to buy it at all. It is to have someone buy it for you. And I do agree that since it is a traditional way, that if you can get your deck purchased by someone else, then do it. But if you are impatient, or you aren't in a situation where you'd have people who are supportive of you, my best suggestion is to find a deck that calls you. Now, you can do this online, but the best way to buy a deck is to buy it in person and to be able to actually feel the energy of the deck and be able to kind of pick it intuitively. Meaning, whatever deck feels right in your hands and whatever deck appeals to you visually. Since my first deck was given to me by an ex, I had my first one bought for me. Though the first deck I used was actually my mother, which I said before, my mother actually taught me how to read tarot as a family thing. But I had my first deck, and since buying decks, I have actually done the intuitive step, and been able to see most of my decks in person and touch them. Also, when my husband also buys them to me as anniversary gifts and gifts, because I love receiving decks. And I mean, my husband is the type of person to buy jewelry, hands down, the first thing he does is buy his jewelry, because he personally likes jewelry. And since being with me for a while, he has learned that the thing that makes me the happiest is a tarot deck, or a book about tarot. Or, you know, sometimes he buys me crystals and stuff, but definitely the way to my heart is buying me a tarot deck, to be honest. Now, to care for your deck, there are so many approaches to it. In this video, I'm going to teach you how I care for my decks, and what I have found best. Personally, my decks like to be left out in the open where air circulates them. I also leave it in, if you look behind me, there is a, chest. It's called it's like a really vintage chest, and it's made out of real wood, and my decks live on that, with crystals surrounding them. And how I cleanse my deck is, every once in a while I'll put them on my table, which is also wooden. That's very important for your decks to live in something that is fully real wood, or real metal, because it's connecting to the earth element, and it's very grounding. I'll leave it around with flowers and sage and candles. I personally use candles a lot in my spiritual practice. A lot of people are different, but candles really stick out to me, and I color court them, and I use certain scents and stuff for whatever spiritual purpose that I want them to do. That's how I kind of cleanse my deck and take care of them. Now, a really neat way to really connect with your deck when you first buy one, and I never heard of this, but my friend did it, and she said it was the most emotional bonding she's ever done with a deck, and that's actually wrapping it up in silk. Now, that's also another popular way to keep your deck safe, is to wrap them in silk, real silk. As someone who is vegan and trying to be vegan, I don't do that, obviously, because of how we obtain silk. So I don't do that, but wrap them in some type of cloth and sleep with it under your bed for 3 days. Especially try to do it during a full moon or a new moon, for the energy that goes per side, and sleep with it for 3 days. I put up 2 fingers, 3 days, not 2. Sleep with it like that, and It will really use your crown and third eye to be able to connect with the deck. Though the only thing she did say is that she had really, really crazy dreams during these 3 days. And just be a warning, everybody that I've talked to this about has said that if you do it, you will have really crazy dreams. And I have been told that when you do this, a lot of them are prophetic dreams. So just be sure that you are prepared for that mentally, because if you don't know that's going to happen, it might scare you, or you might be like, I'm going like nuts. I've been told that it's really normal if that happens to you from the couple people I've reached out about it since. Another way that I kind of like tend to my deck and care for my deck is definitely going out and charging it during the full moon and new moon, because you know the the new moon is for setting intentions and a full moon is for ending the cycle. So if you want to charge your deck, if you want to cleanse your deck, that is the best time. I've also heard of people using sage to put it over their deck and to cleanse it. I'm not a huge, I do sage often, but when it comes to my deck, I don't really like that, because I have like anxiety about like what if like my deck sets on fire. I know that's a little crazy, but I know that's just me. That's just how I view it. What if my deck sets on fire? It is an irrational fear, but it is a fear that I have. I also don't like smoke being near my deck. I don't know. I think it really, really depends on how you bond to your deck and what you feel is intuitively correct with your deck. Everybody who has a deck, they will treat it differently. They will have a different relationship with their deck, and it's important to fill out what your deck wants and what your deck needs. Because that's how you get your deck to respond to you and to bond with you. A lot of people suggest bringing your deck everywhere with you when you first get it, which you can do that. I don't really have the time to do it because I have a 1-year-old, and if that 1-year-old finds my deck, then my deck is going to be destroyed, because he doesn't quite understand how to respect them quite yet, and he just thinks it's a deck of playing cards. Now, another thing I wanted to say is when you are bonding with your deck, it is also important to practice with it. The way that I tell most people who get new decks how to use it is to every day to pull a card. And when you do this, make sure you dedicate your day to not only figure out what it means, but try to see if it relates to anything that's happening in your day or any way you feel. Another way is to, for 365 days, every week, pick a different card to study. Pick a card to study for every week. That is also very important because it teaches you. And you start going over, yes, you're getting familiar with it, and that's very important. It's very important to spend as much time with your deck and at least dedicate a small amount of your day to the deck when you first get it. I would also suggest shuffling it on a regular basis and making sure your energy gets all throughout it. And if you are a psychic or a medium or a tarot reader who wants to go a little bit into the professional route or start your own practice, my advice also is to get a client deck and a personal deck, just so your personal deck isn't getting all tangled up with everyone else, and then it stays tuned to your energy and not other people's energy. And cleansing is very important when you decide to go professional or decide to start reading other people. So I really hope this video helped you. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you want any other videos about how to take care of your deck, how to relate to your deck, how to read tarot, just comment below a suggestion, or whatever you guys want to do, just comment and talk to me, chat with me. I don't really mind it. My DMs and my email are always open to anyone. Thank you so much for viewing. If you like it, subscribe, and I don't know, share it, comment. I don't care. Have a great day.